Greetings. I'm good. How are y'all?
We are just good. Okay, so
that was a perfect entrance, Amy. It's like as we're going live, here comes Amy.
Yeah, well, I was waiting in the green room eating Little Debbie's, and then I just appeared magically when I was.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't.
Magic.
Yeah, I was gonna
Amy's
say
a magician. The other Amy, who spells her name differently than you do, is a magician.
Ah.
Okay. All right. So the show, Amy, is very much. This is going to get confusing. Is very conversationist. So here we go. Yeah. All right. So we'll do music. Here we go. All right, you guys. I know. Russell really likes our intro music, you guys. So good Monday morning, you guys. Russell is currently in Rome, traveling, doing all these fabulous things. So Sandy's here joining us, the OG Miss Sandy. Valerie is here, and our lovely guest today is Amy Daughters. My dog just popped in, so it's going to be a crazy time. But you guys, we always kick off talking about our weekend. So let's dive into the weekend. So I had a really fun, eventful weekend. So as many of you probably don't know, I am a huge, I love looking on estate sales. Okay. I have several things in my house from estate sales. It's always a really fun, good time. So I was bidding on this item on the estate sale this weekend, just kind of casually watching it, how I do. And I won it just, because. So I won a hot tub, you guys, is what I won. And my husband's just super excited about it. So I have to go drain it. And by super excited, I am being very sarcastic. Okay, because he's not. But I am thoroughly thrilled. So that was my weekend summed up. I spent it at the pool with my kids because ever since the damn pool has opened, that is where my kids have wanted to be. We have found out a lot of Meadows former classmates live in the neighborhood, so we all just join at the pool, and they've been doing swim lessons. So, I have to go and monitor them. But fun weekend. I got sunburned, so I'm sunned out. And then a random storm appeared today. Valerie, Sandy, did you guys get that storm today? Do you guys currently getting it?
It was very loud, super early. And you're like, come on.
I know. And you're just like, what is happening? But, other than that, that was my weekend summed up. So what all did you guys do this weekend? Hopefully it was more adventurous and less sarcastic than mine. So who wants to go first?
Go, Sandy.
Oh, okay. Well, I always have a great weekend. I love my weekends. My kids come over. I've got two sons that live here in Houston, and they come over to go swimming in our pool. And so yesterday, one son came over, and they spent the afternoon, and we ended up going to our new favorite noodle place that just opened, and for dinner. But the whole weekend was just spending time with family, which is my favorite thing to do these days.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I love it.
You guys, other than that.
Russell is watching, you guys.
Oh, hi, Russell.
I know he's watching.
Oh, Shouldn't he be doing something touristy in Rome right now?
I know. I have it. I have your photos to show, Russell. I have them. I will show them. Valerie, what did you do this weekend?
Well, I needed a kind of chill out after I just had my first week of summer camp teaching creative writing. So I was like, okay, let's decompress after that. It was fine, but it was a great week. So Friday night I went to to see the Houston Ballet world premiere of Raymonda, which was amazing. It's beautiful artistry. They just they can't do anything wrong, in my words, just like, and then Saturday we had some family visiting from Florida, so we wanted to do something different. So we went to Star Pizza, took them shopping in the Heights, all along 19th Street, just kind of, chilling and walking around and hanging out. And then let's see, and then Saturday night, then David and I had like a date night, and we went to the Woodlands for a grand opening of a restaurant called Coco Row, which was a sushi one. So but they had the lion dance. I love watching lion dances in person because they're just so overwhelming. The kids who do these, they're just by the end of the event, they're just like wiped out because it's a lot of work, and just seeing everything that they have to do. It's very physical to do a lion dance, but to see it, it's very exciting. And then yesterday was family day and cleaning the house, all that kind of exciting stuff. So it was good to end the day with just chilling, eating a bunch of. We had potluck dinner with Asian themed, so that was great. That's it. That's it.
Well,
And
you live the most exciting life. I love to hear about what you do because
it's
I mean, like I didn't even know there was a grand opening of a restaurant in the Woodlands. So the fact that you knew and you were there, I think that is fun stuff. That's stuff that you write about, I bet, on your
yeah.
blog and everything.
Stuff I'm all working with these people on my Hot and Houston Now thing. So it's great. I love just collaborating with people and celebrating their success, because it was, and even when we got there before to have the dinner, it was already packed up. So I think everybody was there for the celebration too.
That's awesome.
Nice. You're always somewhere adventurous, Valerie. Like just always.
Mhm.
Well,
It just,
Russell's in the comment section. I don't know why they're not showing up on my screen. It's a Monday morning, you guys, and it's just completely jacked over here, technology wise.
true.
It's completely jacked. But Russell was saying he's exhausted from lunch, his lunch, the champagne, margarita, just having a ball over there. Russell.
Poor Russell.
Yeah. Oh my
The
god.
struggle is real. I hear that.
He's just funny.
So what time is it in Rome right now anyway?
I don't know.
it's
Russell, what time is it over there?
I think it's 7 hours ahead of.
I
I'm
think
in
it-
Houston. I'm in
UK.
Houston as well.
Okay.
So
Oh, good. Yes. So you definitely heard the storm this morning.
I did hear the storm, and I did go to 3 estate sales yesterday, and I do have a hot tub. So I feel like all.
You just wanted a group this morning, Amy.
You can find some good estate sales here. Just like you can
It's an
get lost.
Amy thing. It's an Amy thing. Estate sales are Amy things.
I
Oh
write
my
down
gosh.
like connecting points, and I run out of paper because usually I'm sitting here thinking, how am I connected to anyone here? But we're all connected friends. It's great.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it. So Sandy and Valerie live in like North Houston. When I lived in Houston, I lived in Clear Lake, Webster. I don't live there
Right.
anymore. I live in Bryan College Station. And
You
to
live
be
in the
honest,
country now.
I know I live in the boondocks over here in Aggieville, and I'm not an Aggie at all. But yeah, I don't know. Houston is an hour from itself. It was a whole different universe living
Right.
in Houston. So, but
I grew up
Sandy
in- Go
Russell
ahead.
says it's 5 p.m. there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
Russell.
he's not. Yeah, Amy, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Springs, so North Houston, and then we've moved. We lived in Ohio for 12 years, and we lived in England for 3 years, and we keep moving back. And this last move back, now we're in Tomball, so we're outside of
Oh,
all the
wow.
loops and all
Yeah.
the tollways, and it kind
Well,
of
you're
suits.
not far
yes,
from me,
yes.
Amy. Then
There's
I
so
live
many.
in Cypress.
Oh yeah, we're
Yes.
just because I'm out
And
west,
I'm down the street from Sandy, so we're
Yes.
really close. We should just go have coffee or something.
right?
That's true. We should. Because one of
Yeah.
the things I was thinking about, Amy, whichever Amy, but as we're all talking, and I was hearing Valerie, the things she does, Amy does her own thing usually, and it's always fun. And all of us do different things, have different interests, but yet we together we come together on books. We all love books, we love authors, and we love doing this show and talking to authors. So
Yes.
Amy, new Amy, it's nice to meet you and hear
Thank
the
you.
connections and
Yeah.
find out that you live close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to meet fellow Houstonians. In College Station, my in-laws live there, so I'm there quite a bit too. So yeah, we got all the connections here, and I'm not an Aggie either. Just
Good.
want a disclaimer.
Right? We have to disclaimer that. I mean, at least I
Right.
feel like we have to, that's
Right.
just my thing. So,
Right.
no, I love it. And then you guys, Russell just moved back to Houston. He's currently, still looking for housing and stuff. At least that's my understanding. He's in Rome. Then he's going to Paris. So he won't be here for 2 weeks, Amy. And that's a huge shame because I wish that you could meet him, because Russell is a riot in and of itself. He's the reason that the show started. It was his kind of envisionment. Him and Sandy did it. And then I kind of swooped in. And so we've been doing it for 9 years, you guys. It's been a fun ride. And so I'm going to
you guys would not believe, Amy, from the difference between now and then, because then she hid.
I did.
So the camera she would not be on camera. She would not be live. She would say something, but you just hear this voice. You wouldn't see her. And now look at her. She shines as the hostess with the mostest.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to have to fill in for Russell, though, because Russell's not here to do it. So you guys, we are incredibly humble and grateful for all of our listeners and loyal followers that have been with us and our new ones that are just joining us. So we are in some of the top 10 and 1% of independent book podcasts on different podcasting channels. You can find us on any podcasting channel, you guys. Russell can find us, which literally means anyone, probably your dog, can find us. Okay, just to be honest, I still have to pick on Russell, though he's not here. It's only fair. Okay, but my go-to to find is Good Pods, Amazon Music. If you're an iTunes user, iTunes. Android is Google Play, Spotify. All of those. Type in Author Talk. Look for the crimson, red, and gold because those are my favorite colors. And I rebranded us with Dina. Dina's the one that did our branding. Go and check us out. All of our episodes are uploaded. If you want to watch us, because I'm very animated, Valerie's very animated, and Sandy on with us, we're all very animated people. We control what comes out of our mouth, but our facial expressions and our hand gestures are one for the times, okay? So go over to our YouTube channel. You can watch us live there Mondays at 10 a.m., or you can go to any one of our social media channels to catch us live and engage with us. My comments are not working today because Russell is in the comment section and I cannot show his comments. It's for whatever reason. It's just a hot mess of a Monday morning, but usually they are there. We love engaging and interacting with you guys. So make sure that you go and do that. And all of us are public people. You can go and hang out, follow, and enjoy. All of us, we love engaging. With that being said, if you want to be on the show, which I am so thankful that you guys listened to this part, send me a direct message. It is the easiest way to get on the show. My emails get bogged down. So if you are following me, I am just public everywhere. So you can send me a message if you want to be on the show and we will get you on the show. I've had several people reach out to be booked on the show because of that. So I'm going to continue saying it, you guys. I am no longer ashamed that I am terrible at responding to emails. Russell will tell you this. Mickey will tell you this. Sandy will also tell you these things, okay? Text message or direct message is the best way to get in touch with me. It's my only claim to millennialness ever because I am a millennial, but I don't claim it because the later end of millennials were crazy. So I don't claim them. But that's the best way to communicate with me. So with that being said, before we dive in.
Pause.
Yeah.
Did author Amy share her weekend?
Wow.
Did
my God.
Did you get a chance to share your weekend?
That
Amy?
double X. You didn't share your weekend.
Well, yeah, I went to 3 estate sales yesterday in my area with my son is a freshman at LSU. He's my youngest and he's home for the summer. And so I drug him. We had to wait till afternoon so he could sleep the entire morning because that's apparently what you're supposed to do. And but then I played golf in the heat of, I was like playing golf at the surface of the sun. I'm trying to play once a week on Saturday so I can suck less at golf. One of my great lofty goals for my life. So I had a great weekend.
Yeah, girl, it was hot out there. Even when we were shopping in the Heights, I was like, okay, back in the air conditioner. We walk a little bit back in the air conditioner. So I don't know how you were playing golf out there.
Yeah, my skort suffered. I was unfortunately swampy.
Man, but it Amy, me and you are just kindred spirits because LSU, like Go Tigers. I grew up going for them. My parents are from Louisiana. My mom took some
Oh.
classes at LSU, and my mom's family is from Alabama. So I'm a Roll Tide, Go Tigers girl. And so
Oh,
when you
that's
said your
awesome.
son's a freshman at LSU, oh my gosh, like it's an Amy thing. I love it.
It
This is
is.
just fantastic.
Right.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So Russell's not here, so I don't have to. I mean, he's here in the comments, Russell, and we're so happy about it. But okay, you guys, so this has been an ongoing battle. It is a hill that I'm going to die on. Okay, but Sandy's on, and I feel like Sandy is going to be our tiebreaker, Russell. So, Sandy, you have been to both. Okay. You have been to Comic Cons and you have been to conferences or book festivals, as Russell calls them. Would you loop in a Comic Con as being a book festival since there's tons of authors and a literary track there? Or do you think that it has no rhyme or reason connected to a book festival?
Well, I would not say that it has no rhyme or reason connected to a book festival because it is authors selling books there. A lot of it is.
Mm-hmm.
But, not to use the word but and the book festivals that I've been to with Russell would never qualify as a Comic-Con because they're just authors with their, not, I don't mean just as to play it down because I think it was great, but they're you know, marketing, they're all doing the marketing. So in that way it's similar, but Comic-Con is so far above the book festivals that I think it's not a book festival.
I get it. Russell thinks he's winning, though. He says that he's winning, and I just don't agree with you.
Did I agree with Russell?
Sadly.
Oh my
So
God,
he's doing.
Russell, this is a first. I've never agreed with you on anything.
It's terrible, you guys. It's just terrible that you guys are agreeing with Mr. Russell. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do with you guys?
So you think that the Comic-Con is just a big book festival?
I think they're similar enough to be looped into the same classification because your big Comic Cons have a literary track, an entire literary alley of just authors dedicated to authors. You have author appearances. So I loop them in, and Russell doesn't, and he's whatever. I can let Russell win. It's fine. I've won plenty.
Hold on, I gotta put my 2 cents in.
Valerie does more book festivals than anybody in the world. So,
but well, at Comic Palooza, which is coming up this month in June here in Houston, but the primary reason I went, was it last year or the year before that, was because my favorite one of my favorite authors, Stephen Graham Jones, was appearing there, and I had his book, and I was like, I need to meet him. I need to get his signature on my book, and just, that was the primary reason I wanted to go. The speakers were good and this was good, but I was there for him, and a lot of people were there for the illustrators. They're there for the authors there. So I would beg to differ that it's important. There were people behind me with armloads of books because there was someone who had written Star Wars books, and they're just collectors and other things. There was a whole gamut of authors appearing, and people were there. They were there to see them and meet them and buy more books. So why not? Why not? It's a specific genre. So, that's who they're coming to see. That's who they read. You want to be there. It's, it's not going to be like a certain kind of romance or this or that, but they have fans. They have fans. And I still have my book. It's right here on my shelf.
Oh my God. Valerie is the saving grace, Russell. Therefore, you are no longer winning. I have taken that slot because that's how I feel. I feel the same way.
That should make it a tie, not a win.
No, there's no tie in me and Russell. It's a win or lose. There's no tying at all. Like, that's just not how this happens at all. But let's get author Amy. I'm just going to call you Double A because I just love that. Like, I just love it. Let's get Double A talking about her books, her journey to becoming an author. So Valerie, Sandy, you guys take it away.
Valerie, you take it away. I'm just going to listen to you for a few minutes and then I'll pop in.
Yes. So I love this title, AA. Could tell us you cannot mess this up. A true story that never happened. Can you introduce us to your whole story, please, and when this came out and how it evolved?
Yeah, it's been out for a couple years, and it's basically a story that I had kicking around in my head for as I started my writing journey. Because I didn't come to writing, that wasn't the first intersection in my career. I actually got a business degree and worked in purchasing for like 15 years. Then my husband's job in Houston said, "Do y'all want to move to the UK for 3 years?" And we were in our 30s. We were like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." We had one little kid. We'll go do that. What an adventure. So we get over there, and this sounds very obvious, but I was like, wait a second, there's a lot of hours in this day. What am I going to do with them? Because I didn't have a work visa. And I'd always written short stories on the side. I'd always been drawn to writing. I would read my emails back to myself at work and be like, oh, that email on the picnic or on Chardonnay was profound, and I would amuse myself that way. So I took some history classes at the university we lived near, but that wasn't enough. And so almost out of desperation, I started writing. And then I realized, just because I worked at it, this was at the beginning of high-speed internet, I started selling pieces that I'd written. I was like, wait a second, this is something I can do. And I came back to Houston after 3 years of that, and I gained a little bit of traction. I was pregnant with child number 2. So I was like, well, I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm not going to go work full time until I get done with this baby. So by the time he came out, I had gotten a gig writing about college football for the Bleacher Report. And that was kind of the basis of where I started to believe in the writing, because I never really felt like I fit in to writing because I wasn't trained to be a writer. But then when I got with the Bleacher Report, it wasn't so much that I was successful as that I, worked with editors like, you're pretty good at this. I was like, oh. And so that book idea, You Cannot Mess This Up, it took a long time for me to take myself seriously enough to write it. And the basic premise of the book is, because what I wanted to do was write a funny back in time book. And so what I was going to do, I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write myself back to my own childhood. I'm going to visit the home I grew up with in Spring, Texas. And this time travel guide is going to drop me off at the front door. These people are going to think I'm their distant cousin from Ohio. It's 1978. And I have to go inside and spend 36 hours with my nuclear family as a stranger, as a grown adult. And so I think funny, haha, Sears catalog, back in time, memoir wrapped up in a fiction time travel burrito. But what it turns out to be is I go and there's my parents at my same age. There's my childhood off the chain 10-year-old ADHD self, my brother and sister. And I realize I'm going to have to revisit every memory I ever made. And I'm going to feel completely different about myself and all the people I did life with at the end of this book journey. And I end up writing a catharsis that I did not intend to write.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. And just how did you build the story from there, though?
Right. Well, I started out with this set of memories, and I was like, I'm going to weave all these memories into Thanksgiving weekend, like certain memories that happen at different times. And so I did a lot of research about the time. And basically I started the narrative we lived in Ohio at the time. I went to this 70s resort and took the VCR, took the tapes, took all the pictures, and I surrounded myself for like 48 hours with all this stuff. And basically the story just came from me sitting down at that resort through several weekends and creating this 36 hours of what it would look like to be an adult in my childhood.
Oh, that would be pretty amazing because first of all, I think if you grew up in Spring, I grew up in Spring-ish by Bammel Elementary and stuff. So I wonder if we ever crossed paths.
We might have.
But but we moved out there in 1976. So putting myself as an adult in 1976, growing up in that area, it would have been pretty amazing. And, and we revisit a lot of that. Do you feel like your book also expanded on the revisiting just the culture, explaining that from an adult point of view? Or are you explaining it from a child's point of view?
No, I explain as an adult point of view. So I go back and I'm a girl from, the 2000 20s, whatever. And I
Yeah.
wrote myself back. So I obviously there's a big nostalgic factor, but then there's the gap in technology. That's obvious. Like I'm digging around looking for my phone through most of the book, trying to take pictures and, thinking about what I'd post on social media and what I'd hashtag my posts, if I could hashtag my back in time story, but I'm disconnected with all. And so I have to deal with the reality of this situation with no social media, with no internet, with no Google. At one point in the book, I'm sitting down to write my younger self a letter that I can leave with her when I leave. And I realized, oh my God, I'm going to have to come up with something to say that's profound without the internet. I mean, I could run down to the World Book encyclopedias downstairs, or I'm just going to have to fabricate something out of my head. And I was like, wait a second, I'm only as intelligent as the internet now. Boom.
Looking around those encyclopedias, girl, that was a lot.
Right.
Finding what you need to do. How do you think were you pleased with the way it turned out, or would you have changed anything in your story now?
Well, I think anyone, who's written, and especially a book that you can't, you can't take it back. So obviously, as I've grown as a writer, as a person, as a human being, there's things I change. But what I like, I'm really proud of the book, regardless of the flaws that I see in it. And the things I'm the proudest of, it goes from being, I think there's some really deep and thoughtful things, thought-provoking things, but it goes from those and then it just zaps in some humorous quip. And I think it's a reflection of what real life is probably, and surviving a regular life, So I'm pleased with the way it turned out, because I think it's way more, I just thought it was going to be funny, and it turns out to be I think it's a very moving, again, thought-provoking, because it doesn't matter when you grow up, putting yourself in the position of Big Amy and watching her deal with little Amy and all her memories. I think in some ways it's a therapeutic process. And I would have never thought that when I wrote the book, for other people who have read it. And plus it's super entertaining, I believe. So yes, I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. Is it perfect? No, but either am I. So there you go.
That sounds exciting.
It
It feels
does.
like a little memoir-ish. Would you say it?
Yeah, and that's exactly the way I explained it. It is a memoir, 100% wrapped up in this tortilla of time travel, which is obviously fiction. So it gave me, the leeway to really do almost anything I want to do. But it is based on my childhood memories. But I write dialogue that people said that's made up, but it gave me a lot of freedom to do something, and it is such a different take on a memoir. It really is. Because of the time travel, which I'm fascinated with time travel.
So was there anything particular that inspired you, or you just like I know you were saying it's an idea and a concept, but anything that led, specifically to just, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I know you're writing for the sports writing, but just anything that you're like, okay, I can't ignore it anymore. This is the now.
Right. I think it was my big idea. And like I said, I watched every time travel movie. I've read every time travel book probably. And I just wanted to participate in the process of creating something involving time travel. But it was funny though. I got a really bad review from somebody, a science fiction writer, because they wanted to know how I went back in time. Like they wanted the scientific reason. I was like, I'm talking about, men wearing too tight pants and their chest hair coming out. That's more of that kind of book, It's like,
Dang that Cavarici.
Yeah, I was talking about people smoking cigarettes and not having hand sanitizer. I wasn't really getting into the mechanics of
stretching that landline across the whole kitchen or around the corner to the next bedroom. How about that?
Oh yeah, that was all there. And then just looking at it as a set of eyes from how we live now. I mean, it was just, the things that I saw. I also had the benefit when I was writing the book, the house that we grew up in went up for sale. So I went and visited as a supposed potential buyer. And so I got to inhabit that space, and that really helped me a lot.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Sandy, do you have some questions?
Yeah, I was just wondering, Amy, what do you have planned for now? Do you have other books in mind, or are you planning just to continue, but are you planning to continue as ongoing as a writer for sports or whatever topic?
Yeah, I have another book that I wrote about that is about this incredible letter writing journey I went on. and that has turned into something I speak about. And so I do a lot of that. I feel like I'm at the point in my, I do write every day still, and I'm working on 2 projects, but I feel like I'm at the point in my, and this is a good problem to have. I have so many balls in the air that I try to spend my afternoon keeping my balls all afloat. I do this kind of thing in the morning, or I write. And so I do have 2, I have a small project and a bigger project that I'm working on. So my plan is to write, is absolutely have another book. It's just a matter of managing my time to where I could do that. And I'm almost to the point where I need help managing my thing, but I hate to pay anybody to do what I can do myself. And I would rather just represent myself as well. So.
Well, I did notice that your PR firm is PR by the book. So I'm very familiar with them. Amy and I had a marketing company for about 20 years. And then I retired in 2021, and Amy has the marketing company now. So, but we were very familiar with Marika. Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
You don't work directly with her. I see you had another one of her representatives on the on your sheet. But yeah, well, then say hello to everyone from us, because I really enjoyed hearing her speak at conferences and all that.
Well, they're amazing, and they've done amazing things for my books and for me. And so I can't sing, and I don't work directly with Marika, but I consider her to be a friend now. And they took my book, my little book about letter writing, and I had another PR campaign when it first came out. And I knew, I think every author thinks this, I knew it'd have more legs though. I just like, this can go somewhere, this can go further. I felt like it could go further. And, and I was like, am I just being delusional? And so I get back with Marika, and I'm like, what do you think? She's like, absolutely. And, about 6 months later, I was on the Kelly Clarkson show. And so you talk about, and I'm not saying that to talk about how I was on the Kelly Clarkson show. I'm saying that's what PR by the book did, though, because they go beat the bushes when all the bushes are probably done being beaten,
Well, congratulations. That's the only thing. I was looking over her PR sheet, and I saw that about Marika, and also saw that you graduated with Texas Tech. And that's out in West Texas. So we know a lot of friends in West Texas. So yay. Yeah. So no, that was it for me, Valerie. You've done a great job just covering all the bases for her interview. So good job.
Well, Amy, I noticed too. Congratulations on all the awards this book has won. What a great achievement.
I saw that.
Right. Yes. And I would have never expected that in a million years. But my favorite award, and I don't know if that's on the website, it won like best time travel fiction. And we always laugh about that, because as opposed to the time travel nonfiction books, the real time travel, we just thought that was funny. But the thing I'm always going to be proud enough is the awards about humor, because that was my whole intention. And if people laugh, that really, is what I was going for.
Absolutely. That's good. Well, congratulations. It sounds like a great job. What a great life you've had, actually. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what's next for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on this historical, it's kind of a historical humorous book, like historical fiction humor. That's what I'm working on. So, and I'm working on it's not really a short story, maybe a novella about something else. Like it's what I've kind of learned from all the letter writing and everything. So I'm working on those 2 things. But again, I'm trying to get myself in a space, because I had the one kid go to LSU in the last fall, and then everyone leaving my house was it's a great thing when they all finally leave and you work from home, but I don't know why it kind of got in the way creatively for me. I was like, I'm going to drive around and write. I did all that, but then I was like, oh, I'm not in a rhythm. My life is not in a rhythm. So I feel like now I'm just now coming away where I'm like, this is what I'm doing, and I feel good about it. So I'm hoping to have a book, within something in the next 6 months that's something worth like really discussing with, further.
Nice.
What does your writing process look for you? Because like you're saying, your rhythm is kind of, you had to get back in a zone, I guess. Even for myself, when I'm writing, if I'm not in the zone, I'm just kind of like staring at the screen, like, let me walk around the house. Let me go drink some more coffee. Let me do this. Let me do this. And then I'll be like, okay, now I'm in the zone or whatever. How about for you? What does your writing process look like?
Well, I write in the morning. You know, I try to write for as long as I can. And if I hit that wave, I just try to write it. And, you know, and I've started keeping, well, I've always kept a notebook with me, but this last year I have stopped the car, gone, and I just write a bunch of stuff in the notebook, and then I bring it home and I integrate that into what I'm working on. But I try to write in the morning. I try not to self-edit. I just write and move forward as you know, but that's been hard for me too, because all that doubt comes in. But I feel like when I zone in and I just do it, and then, oh my God, all of a sudden then you have a book after that, you know, just
exactly. Yes. And especially if you're working on two projects at the same time, then you really have to compartmentalize, just like, okay, wait, this has got to go for that or this and that. And then I don't know about you, but then I start getting like other ideas. I was like, stop thinking about something else.
right.
Focus on these two things. Yeah.
Right. When I'm an idea person, so I have all these ideas and I have all this stuff I'm going to do, and I realize I'm going to have to do 2 or 3, you know, a couple of things. And with the speaking, that's great, but I mean, like the traction the stories have gained is great, but it doesn't leave a lot of room to continue to be creative. And the writing is what feeds me. I mean, yeah, I made a career out of writing, but the writing does something for me that nothing else in my life does. You know, and whether it's any good or whether I'm going to share it with anyone, you know, that's really beside the point. And yes, I want to be successful. Yes, I want to sell books, but I want to write. That's who I am as a person, not as a career, you know, goal.
Yeah, I agree, because then once you get it down on paper, or you know, like you said, your notebook or whatever, that gives room in your brain to create something else. You got to
Right.
get it out, and then you can't hold it in. It's like holding your breath.
Right. Right. I'm a better person when I'm writing.
Me too.
So
Me too. Me too. Amy, do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'm a better person, right? When I'm reading a psychological thriller. I just am a much
Ooh,
nicer person is what I have realized. And that
wow.
sounds super terrible. And I promise, like, I'm not going to stalk or do any of those things, but I don't know if it just releases like inner aggression that I have that I don't know I have. But I am a much nicer person when I'm reading those types of books than reading
well,
anything nonfiction. Nonfiction does not put me in a good mood. I don't know why, because I do enjoy them, but they don't make me nice people. Like they
I
just
think,
don't.
Amy, is because you're when you're reading books like that, you're like, these people have problems and I'm gonna get involved in their problems, and I don't have to, you know, and then you're like, wow, that's
Maybe.
a really bad problem. And I hope she gets to figure that out or whatever. It's just, you know.
You know, it probably is that, to be honest. It probably is. Maybe it makes me focus outside of my own head for sure. But author Amy, I just love it. Double A. Your book sounds interesting to me because I would never have thought of that concept of going back, right? I
Mhm,
never would have thought of that. And I have read a lot of time travel books and all those things, but the way that you've positioned it and set it and, you know, set it up
mhm,
for us, I never would have thought of, and I haven't heard of
mhm.
anyone else thinking of it. So you have me intrigued over here, okay? And I'm always looking for a new book, as if reading 10 at the same time is never enough, but I'm always looking for one and I'm dying for it. So I have your book actually pulled up because you are sitting here talking about it. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to have to read it and review, because we all know, right? The greatest compliment you can give any author is to leave them a review, right? That's the greatest thing you can do. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. It's the nicest thing that you can do for an author. But Amy, oh my gosh, these things are Amy things, okay? Estate sales, LSU, you live in Houston. Oh my gosh. And you have a hot tub, and I'm going to get one, you know, at the sake of my sarcastic husband over here. Like, we are just besties for life over here. You're welcome back on the show anytime, because, oh my goodness, there's just too much in common. It was destined to happen. But I do want to thank you for taking time out of your morning to come and hang out and chit chat and put up with all of our crazy antics that happen on Author Talk. So thanks for hanging out with us, Amy.
No, I loved it. And you know what? I listened to several of y'all's episodes before coming on, and I know I'd heard of it, but anyway, you've got somebody who's going to watch now too. So I really like the way this whole thing, the conversational style and the way it's just great. And I just a delight to be on here. And like you said, we have so many connecting points. It's almost
And we have to
crazy.
have coffee so we can go talk further about all these things we have in common. So
No,
Yeah, you guys
I
are gonna
think
have to
so.
call me.
Yeah. Well, we're only probably, I bet we're all 10 minutes apart, probably at
I
most.
Oh
truly.
man.
I don't know.
That's
Houston traffic, it
probably
might be
it.
20.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, or we'll pay for it on the tollway. Everything's a tollway.
Oh, yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes,
Oh
yes.
my goodness. Well, you guys, all of us are in the Texas, Houston area, so stay dry this week, you guys. If not, and you're in a hot area, we will pray for you because we know what that's like. If not, and you have other weather, we're jealous of you, except for the snow. If you have snow, we're not jealous of you. You can keep it. Okay. But we hope that everybody has a fantastic week, a great rest of their Monday. And until next Monday, bye for now, everybody.